Hello class! Today we are going to have a special lesson on DC Universe Classics Wave 16, figure number 2. Maybe I could do 2 that way. Because this way I'm kind of flipping you off, and this way I'm saying peace. So that's kind of flipping you off. Anyways, the Creeper. I had high hopes for this figure when I first heard that he was going to be part of the Bane wave, which we'll talk about in a second. And hopefully we'll live up to that, so we will have to see. But there we can see the Creeper in his packaging with the Justice League on the background. Again, up here there's Superman, but trying to get that into a shot is a little more. There he is, see? Yeah, I know. We all care about that. Anyways, so quick look at the packaging for the adult collector. That makes it sound like porn. And when you consider the guy's name is the Creeper, he sounds like a panty thief or something. At any rate, here we have some kind of, I guess, emblem to represent the Creeper. It's kind of a C, and there's a little bit of teeth and that furry thing that's on his back. It does contain a collect and connect figure piece, a right arm. You can see that arm in there a little bit. Collect and connect. It's funny how they don't want to just call it Build-A-Figure. That's what we all call it anyway, right? It's a bath. Anyways, on the back, we've got Jonah Hex. There's Creeper. The Riddler in his spandex. 2 Robins, which we'll probably get into some other time. Mercury, and Asbats. And then they build Bane. I'm just going to keep going on about that because it's awesome. It's awesome. Now, the Creeper. So there we got a picture of him. And we can look at his biography a little bit. Journalist Jack Ryder dug relentlessly for scandals to expose. Investigating a story, Jack met Dr. Vincent Yates, whose invented nanocells were able to heal any wound and fight off disease. Under attack by mobsters, Yates injected his only working samples into Ryder, who transformed into a yellow-skinned, furry-cloaked madman. Since then, the criminals of Gotham City have learned to beware the Creeper. It still sounds like a cheesy horror movie or something about some creepy-looking guy who steals panties. I don't know. Anyways, his stats. His first appearance was showcase number 73 in 1968. He's a geezer, too. How come so many comic book characters are geezers? Anyways, his real name is Jack Ryder. I think he used to be a TV journalist. I don't think he is anymore. He operates out of Gotham. And special abilities. Oh, changes at will into the Creeper. So maybe he can change back into Jack Ryder and still be a TV journalist. I didn't know he could change back. I don't really know a whole lot about the character. And back again has a laugh that causes pain. That so wants me to make, you know, jokes about either the wife or the mother-in-law. Hey! Oh, okay. I'll stop. Superhuman strength, agility, stamina, and healing powers. He's kind of like a psychotic adamantium-less Wolverine or something. No, that's not really good either. But anyways, so that is the Creeper. We're going to bust him out of the package and have a closer look at him. I'm really hoping this figure's going to be good. I like the character. I only saw him in, was it the last season of Batman the Animated Series? But I thought he was kind of cool. So I'm really hoping that this figure is going to be excellent. So, if you hold on a second, we'll get the Creeper out of the package and we'll have a closer look. So we are back, and we're continuing our look at the Creeper. I'll give you a quick 360 view of the figure here before we talk about him a little bit more. There we go. So I guess we'll talk about his paint scheme first. So obviously the dude is bright yellow, which is a design feature. I said besides reading the bio, I don't know much about the backstory of this character. So he's got bright yellow, he's got green hair, which actually kind of reminds me of the Joker. And actually, when you look at his face, my camera's having a hard time focusing here. It's a very hard time focusing. He's got that big smile and the white teeth and kind of the red there. He has a strong resemblance to the Joker in a lot of ways. I wonder if that was the point. But anyways. But we got some decent work there on the face. The teeth are painted individually. We can see his eyes in there, and even his eyebrows are green. The only thing is, now I don't know if it's just this figure or not. I don't know how well the camera will pick it up. There's a little spot here on his chest that's got something on it that I can't seem to get rid of, which is mildly annoying. But you can't see it too much on the camera, so I probably won't notice for too long. He's got the funny colored underwear that he's wearing. Again, that's just part of the character. Different color of red for his boots than what's here on his mane. I don't know if they're supposed to be the same. I don't know if, again, that was a design feature or if they just decided not to do it. I mean, that's, I believe, how the character is supposed to look. I don't know too much about it. Oh, sorry, and he's got a little fur on his booties here. And we can see that's kind of a black color again. I don't know if that's the way it's supposed to be or not, but that's the way it is here anyway. Now, in terms of articulation, again, more or less standard for a DCUC figure. We can rotate his head. Now, the problem is that with his mane, it is a little bit tough to get his head all the way around, and I'm worried that if I try to force it, I'm just going to pop his head right off. So he's a little restricted that way, but his head does go up and down. It's a ball joint. His arm's going to rotate at the shoulder. It's encumbered, inhibited a little bit by the mane, on the back, but we can still move it up and down. Same thing, rotate there. Now, this is another one of the characters from the Wave that has the double jointed elbow, or the two joints, or the two pieces to build the elbow joint. So we've got that there. And then his hand can rotate at the wrist, and we've got the upwards and downwards movement. His waist, same thing, we can rotate around. We can, oh, that looked bad. He's got the joint there, in his torso, move up and down. His legs go backwards a little bit, and then forwards, out to the side. We can rotate the leg at the thigh. Again, two pieces, or two joints, sorry, to form the knee. And he does have a little bit of articulation here in the ankle, but almost none. Like, it moves, but there's not a lot of room for it to move, and that really sucks, actually, with this figure. We'll get to why in a little bit. Now, in terms of the sculpt, we said he's got the face there. Now, honestly, the face is a little bit tough for me. He'd be good as the Joker, maybe, but it really looks like he's trying to pee glass. Or he just ate some really bad Taco Bell with the extra hot sauce, and he's got Ring of Fire right now. I'm having a hard time dealing with the face. I know he's supposed to be psycho because he's crazy. I don't know. It looks like a grimace in pain. It looked like a lobster snuck up on him while he was skinny dipping, and yeah, that's the kind of face he make, you know? Like, yeah. So, we got that. We got the fur on the gloves, which is kind of nice. Now his hands, now I don't know if there's a kind of just a stockpile of generic hands, but they're not fists and they're not, again, straight, but they're just kind of that creepy kind of look, which is excellent for this figure, for this character, sorry, because he's the creeper. The mane on his back, we can see how much detail some poor sucker put into the sculpt there. All the little fur, it's supposed to look like fur, but it's that kind of soft rubbery plastic, but there's just so much of it, it doesn't move too much. Same thing with his boots, we've got the fur there. So it's pretty good. I think most of his legs and his arms and his chest is probably the typical skinny guy mold for DCUC. Now, the issue I have with this figure, I've been having a hard time standing this little son of a bitch up. And there's two reasons for that. One, this thing on the back is a huge, basically just a backpack. It's that kibble on the back, and it makes him very back heavy. Even trying to stand him upright, which maybe you're not supposed to do because he just doesn't strike me as the kind of character who stands upright a lot. He's gonna fall down all the time. The other issue with that is that you can sometimes with figures when they're a little bit back heavy, you compensate by trying to lean them forward a little bit, and you can do so a little bit at the ankles. There's no movement there. So I find it's getting difficult to get him into a kind of a meaningful pose because his flipping ankles don't move, and it's starting to really piss me off. But the contrast of that is that you can give him the funny look with his hands, which is excellent. Because he just, I don't know. I think I was talking about him being a panty raider or something, and he has that kind of look. Or he's almost a zombie, too. A very weird zombie, but that is excellent. So again, hard to stand up, but if you can get him into a cool pose, he's got lots of character that way. And I do kind of like that. Now, hopefully we've got the right arm here, or the correct arm. He does come with a piece of Bane, which is good, as all the figures in this wave do. So here we've got, was it the right arm of Bane, and we can see it there. Not too much to talk about here. What's interesting is that he's only got one piece or one joint for his elbow, whereas this dude over here has two. What's up with that? We can see that part of Bane, and eventually we'll put that all together, and whoa, that'll be excellent. We can see just how big the arm is compared to the Creeper's. Actually, you know what, it's not, in terms of length, it's not that much bigger, but obviously he's got real big guns and this guy doesn't. Even though he's got super strength, apparently, so maybe he could give Bane a run for his money. Now, I have a really hard time thinking of what I would give a grade for this figure because I like the character, at least what I know. I don't know a whole lot about him. I've seen him on Justice League Unlimited that one time. He had a very brief appearance, and he showed up in Batman. Was it Gotham Knights? Or it was near the end. Anyways, he showed up, and I thought he was kind of interesting. Kind of reminds me of Jim Carrey a little bit. Jim Carrey, sorry. I don't know. I don't know why that strikes me that way. But I did like the character. I don't know much about him. I haven't really followed him, but the figure looks good. The face creeps me out just a little bit, which maybe is kind of the point. Again, it doesn't look like crazy as much as just really bad rectal pain. I don't know. Maybe the eyes should be wider. It looks like he's almost squinting. I don't know. It's not bad. It's just not I just don't personally like it. It's a preference thing. My biggest gripe about the figure, though, are the ankles. They just don't move, and it makes him difficult to pose and stand up meaningfully. I find when I try to stand all these figures up together, he is the first one that falls down. And it's because he's got all the weight in the back, and his ankles don't move, which give that extra level of articulation. I know I keep going on that because I'm griping, but, you know, I want to like this figure a lot more because I think he's got lots of personality. It's just I find him, he's fragile. He's going to be hard to stand up. Now, if I was going to give him a grade, I think our friend the Creeper here, you know what, I'm going to give this character a B. He's pretty good. B plus or would have been an A, except the face bothers me just a little bit, and the fact that he's hard to stand up grinds my gears a little bit. So, I think that's going to be our grade for the Creeper. A decent figure. He's probably one I might have picked up without the Build-A-Figure anyway, or Collect and Connect, just because I think the character's interesting. Even though I don't know anything about him, I just think he's neat. So anyways, that's enough of my rambling. I believe that is our lesson on the Creeper. Thank you very much. Class is dismissed.